One battle after another, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Teyana Taylor, who's a couple who's also a part of a group called the French 75. They're a vigilante group that takes on the government as they apprehend illegal immigrants. Leonardo DiCaprio, who goes by the name of Bob Ferguson, and Teyana Taylor, who is Perfidia. They are basically working together to take down the government who's apprehending these illegal immigrants because all the letters and the phone calls don't work, so now they're basically taking matters into their own hands. They're setting immigrants free and they're bombing federal buildings, and what's amazing to me is how well this movie shows what's actually going on in the real world today. With, you can see ICE all over this movie. Things all go according to plan until Perfidia gets involved with General Stephen J. Lockwood, who's played by Sean Penn. The outcome of their infidelic relationship gives birth to a child who's played by Chase Infinity, goes by the name of Willa. Now this movie runs for about 2.5 hours, and what's amazing to me is how much engaged I was throughout this entire film. At no point could I take my eyes off the screen. It was so much happening within this movie, and every step of the way it just takes you for a whole thrill ride. Leonardo DiCaprio and Teyana Taylor's relationship throughout the beginning first half of the movie was just electrifying, and you basically could feel the chemistry between the two actors. Teyana Taylor also did an amazing job. I mean, you can feel her character's passion towards how she feels about starting this revolution and taking down this crooked government. I will say that Willa, the daughter of Perfidia, really stole the show for me in this film. Bob and Perfidia has kept their life pretty secret towards their daughter. They don't tell her anything that they've been involved with, and she really doesn't know her dad and her mom's history. So she's grown up in a world where she doesn't understand where she really comes from, and she doesn't understand the history behind why her dad is the way he is, because throughout her life, all she's been told is that her mother was this hero when really her mother was completely different. Leonardo DiCaprio does a really good job as this paranoid, pot-smoking dad who doesn't want his daughter to leave the house whenever she wants without telling him, doesn't allow her to have a cell phone. He's just very paranoid that anything could happen. Chase is just amazing as Willa in this movie. I mean, she's 25 in real life, but in the movie she plays a 16-year-old, and it's amazing because you can really feel the curiosity that she has. She wants to know where she comes from. She wants to know more about her mother, and you could sense her mother's same fire within her. Even though Willa grew up without her mother, she still has that same survival instinct, and it shows throughout the film. Aside from the acting in this movie, I also have to pay respects to the sound quality in this movie. I never knew how much you can actually get from putting an octave higher to lowest with just a key from a piano. Throughout this movie, you could feel the tension build up from the key sounds of a piano or a guitar, and all they're doing is really playing with the volume and the levels of the octaves. And I love that. I love that it didn't really have to give you that much music. It was really just sounds and high quality tones that you're listening to, and it's building you up and it's making you feel the suspense, and it really drew me into this movie. I couldn't believe how amazing they were able to play off with different instruments and still keep me intrigued in what was going on. Sean Penn did an amazing job in this movie. He gives off this angry, jealous type of guy that you just don't want to mess with. His job in this movie is basically to hunt down and bring to justice the vigilante group, the French 75, which includes Leonardo DiCaprio's character and Teyana Taylor. Eventually, the tracks grow cold for the French 75, and Lockjaw lets them go until he becomes obsessed with joining a group called the Christmas Adventurers Club, which is a group of wealthy white guys who basically see themselves superior to everyone else. But once that happens, he has to pledge his loyalty to this group and show them that they can trust him, so now he has to be back on the trail and capture the French 75. The idea of this movie is a vigilante group who's causing the government some issues. They eventually have to go into hiding and go on the run until they end up being caught. This film is nothing short of a thrill ride. You never know what's going to happen. In each scene, something new is going on, and Leonardo DiCaprio carried this movie on his back. It's so funny watching Leonardo DiCaprio play this dad who's just smoking pot all day, and he's so paranoid and he can't remember little things. There's like certain scenes where he's trying to remember a code and he can't remember it, and it's just hilarious to look at. I kind of felt bad for Lockjaw's character because even though he was this bad dude who was capturing families and locking up illegal immigrants, it's also kind of sad because you can see that he really just wanted to be loved and he wanted to be wanted by someone. Throughout the movie, he's aware of Perfidia and Bob's relationship, but he has to keep himself at a distance because he can't let himself draw attention to himself, because if the government or anyone found out that he was involved in a relationship with Perfidia's character, then this could mean him being in trouble with the government, mainly being locked up or probably even executed. This movie was directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, and like I said, it had me hooked in from beginning to finish. The cinematography, the camera lighting, everything just looks so beautiful on the big screen, and you just have to see it for yourself. I feel like there was no point in this movie that was at a low. It was constantly at a high, because even with the sounds that just kept pulsing, you always felt like something was around the corner or something that was about to happen that you just didn't know what could take place next. Leonardo DiCaprio was hilarious in this movie, and Teyana Taylor, she was just so fierce, and her character was just so beautiful, and it was just perfectly executed. If I had to rate this movie, I would give it a 10 out of 10. It wasn't that this movie had that much action scenes, but what it did give you provided enough for you to actually stay intrigued and entertained throughout the movie. If you're looking for a great movie to watch, you should definitely check out One Battle After Another. You will not be disappointed. Once again, guys, thank you for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe, because it will help the channel grow. And remember, it ain't cinema if it ain't absolute cinema. Till next time, I'm out.